Welcome to FSR, Free Spirit Radio, the Lie Hunters.
The Book of Iji, A Spiritual Odyssey Beyond the Visible. Chapter 5, Act 9, Fabienne's Fury. The house was enveloped in an unusual silence as I opened the door. I had hoped that Fabienne was already asleep, but there she was, standing in the living room with her arms crossed, her fiery gaze fixed on mine. From the moment I crossed the threshold, I felt the electric tension in the air.
"Are you mocking me, Iji?"
She yelled, her voice crashing like thunder. I calmly placed my keys on the table, taking a deep breath before responding. "Fabienne, listen, I can explain." But she wasn't willing to listen. She strode towards me, her movements abrupt, almost theatrical.
"Zit verlijn what?"
she shouted, sweeping a vase off the table with the back of her hand. It shattered into countless pieces on the floor. Her fury erupted into a full-blown storm.
"Mary's called me. Iji. She told me the competition ended at midday, and here you are strolling in at 10 p.m. as if nothing's happened. What were you doing with Kiniku, She's so beautiful, so young. Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I don't see what's going on?"
She slapped the coffee table with the flat of her hand, toppling a glass that crashed loudly to the floor.
You only think about her. I'm nothing to you. Just a piece of furniture, a servant."
I raised my hands, trying to intervene gently. "Fabienne, calm down. You know that's not true. Please, listen to me." But my words seemed to vanish into a void. She paced the room like a caged lioness, grabbing objects to hurl them to the floor, each crash accompanied by a cry of rage.
Whoa, calm down. Calm down. I am calm, Iji. Calm as a woman betrayed, humiliated, ignored.
She suddenly stopped, her chest heaving as she breathed rapidly. Then, in a trembling voice filled with menace, she added,
If you want to be with her so much, why not go to her right now? I'll disappear. Maybe that's what you want, isn't it? For me to die, to fade away?
She rushed to the kitchen, yanking open a drawer with a crash, and I heard the metallic clatter of cutlery. I approached her slowly, keeping my voice low and soothing. "Fabienne, stop. You're upset. No one here wants you to suffer, let alone disappear. Please, hand it over." She held a kitchen knife, but her hand was trembling. Her gaze wavered between anger and despair.
"You don't understand,"
she cried, tears now streaming freely down her face. "Fabienne, look at me," I said firmly. "You're angry, and that's natural, but I am not betraying you, never." She broke into sobs. Finally dropping the knife, which landed on the floor with a dull thud. I stepped closer and gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "Listen to me, Fabienne. You matter to me, but I am a sensei. And being a sensei means being there for those who want to learn, those who are eager to grow. Kiniku is a devoted student, nothing more." She looked up at me, her tears drowning out her anger.
"And me, Iji? What about me? What am I to you?"
I took a deep breath before answering. "You are someone precious to me, Fabienne, but I do not belong to you. My commitment is to my path, to who I am. I chose this path long before I met you. It is mine, just as yours is yours. I cannot be bound or forced into a role that isn't mine. She nodded slowly, her shoulders sagging.
So you'll never change?
She murmured. No, Fabienne, I won't change, but that doesn't mean I don't care about you. The tempest seemed to subside. She collapsed onto the sofa, silent tears streaming down her face. I picked up the shattered pieces of the vase and swept up the broken glass while she sat motionless, lost in thought.
I love you so much, Iji, and it's killing me.
She said quietly. I sat next to her, though at a respectful distance, giving her space. I know, Fabienne, I know, but I will always be who I am. The house gradually returned to its stillness, but the air remained heavy, filled with the remnants of an evening far too tumultuous. Chapter 5, Act 10, The Revelation of Kiniku. The next morning, I met Kiniku. We walked together toward the river beach, leaving behind the training grounds, the kimonos, and all discipline. For once, there was no combat awaiting us, only the immensity of Ardèche, and a strange conversation about to begin, unlike any I had ever known. We walked barefoot on the sand, silent at first, bathed in the gentle light of the morning. When I turned toward Kiniku, I saw a serious yet luminous gleam in her eyes.
Iji, before I met you, I had almost stopped existing. I didn't dare to shine anymore. I grew up in a family where freedom and Tantra were celebrated. I was taught to love my body, my sensuality, and my freedom. And yet, life broke that in me. I was told I was wrong. Wrong for being attracted to women, wrong for being different. My body was curved, wounded, my heart full of shame.
She paused, inhaled the crisp air, and smiled softly.
But training with you, moving, breathing, standing proud under the sun, it all changed me. I found my strength, my muscles, my fire, my radiance. And I remembered that Tantra is not something shameful. It's sacred. It's the art of being alive. To live and to love, they are almost the same word, and not by accident.
Yes, what you're saying echoes everything I've learned through Shaolin. Passion, faith, dignity. These must live within the body, not as rules, but as a fire. Kiniku smiled.
And that's exactly what you taught me, Iji. To believe in myself, to love my strength, to align my spine and my soul, to walk with pride and to breathe with purpose.
She touched a flower nearby.
Look, the flower is the sexual organ of the plant, and yet we see it as sacred, fragrant, glorious. Bees come and drink its nectar, and from that joy even honey is born. Why do we not treat human sexuality with such reverence? Why do we not see the human sex as a divine lotus, a cosmic rose?
She looked at me intensely.
Love must not become possession. If we love a flower, should we cut it and try to keep it forever, dried and lifeless? We must admire it, be moved by it, and let it live. That's the spirit of Tantra, and of the White Lotus Guild too, to awaken, not to imprison.
Kiniku, I said. Yesterday, Fabienne was strangely upset. She sensed something, even though she didn't know anything. Kiniku looked at me gently.
And what did happen, Iji?
I paused. I'm not even sure, but I know this. Over the past months, I've watched you grow more luminous, stronger, braver, freer. And yesterday, all of that beauty seemed to explode into light. I felt madly in love with you, with your wild joy, your fire, your soul.
And I, Iji, I've never felt more alive. You helped me rise. You gave me faith. And through Tantra, I rediscovered my essence, not in shame, not in hiding, but in the sunlight, in the dance of breath and movement and trust.
But Kiniku, I know so little of Tantra. I've only read fragments. She laughed gently.
Then let me teach you. Tantra is not about sex. It's about energy, about letting desire become a sacred flame. When two beings connect in Tantra, they don't consume, they elevate. The body becomes a temple, the breath becomes a prayer, the gaze a blessing. It's a divine dance, not a conquest, a rising, not a possession.
We walked along the banks of the Ardèche. The river whispered its silver voice through the trees. I stopped. But Kiniku, you're a lesbian, and I'm with Fabienne. I don't want to betray her. She needs me. And still, I feel something incredible for you. She sat by the water, her feet in the current.
And I feel something just as deep for you. Your presence, your grace, your body in motion, they inspire reverence in me, not desire to possess, but awe. I love you, Iji, fiercely, but I also know we cannot and should not cross certain boundaries.
She drew a circle in the air.
But maybe we don't need to. Can't we share a joy beyond desire? A flame that warms but does not consume? Must we be lovers to love?
She dipped her hands into the river.
Tantra isn't about taking. It's about transforming, feeling, honouring. It's letting sexual energy become light, not lust. When we touched yesterday, it was sacred. Our flames danced, but neither of us sought to burn the other. And that is Tantra.
I stayed silent for a long time. Her words reached something deep inside me. Kiniku, I felt it too. That flame, that strange, beautiful flame. You awakened something in me, a joy I had forgotten. She nodded, her eyes luminous.
And you, Iji, you healed me, gave me back the right to shine, to breathe, to dance. That's the miracle of Tantra, and of you.
She gently placed her hand on mine.
So, let me offer you this. You teach me martial arts. I will teach you Tantra. Let us walk together, not as lovers, not as a couple, but as two flames, two paths that intertwine without binding. Will you accept this?
Her voice was full of peace. It wasn't seduction, it was sacred offering. I felt a deep stillness inside me. And then I answered, Yes, yes, Kiniku, 1,000 times yes. This path, I want to walk it, not to take, not to possess, but to rise with you. She smiled, her joy shimmering like the river.
Then let our training become sacred dance. Let every strike, every breath, every evasion be an act of love, not romantic love, but liberating love, the love of poets, the love of stars, the love that births universes.
Yes, I don't want a love of chains. I want a love of sunrise, a love of mountains, a love of waterfalls and stars. With you, this is not betrayal. This is revelation.
And Fabienne will feel it. She will receive the warmth we create. We take nothing from her. We offer her the best of us. Our joy will radiate into everything, into teaching, compassion, even into your love with her. Nothing is stolen. Everything is amplified.
She laughed, a ripple of light.
We heal through Tantra, Iji, from guilt, from aging, from fear. We don't flee life, we become it. We don't force joy, we radiate it. We don't love to consume, we love to resurrect.
She placed her hand gently on my cheek. Her eyes held a pure, unshakable truth. And there, on the banks of the Ardèche, in the morning light, She kissed me. A feather touch kiss, stronger than any promise, a seal of a sacred pact, to rise together, to love without possession, to walk side by side, and never to imprison the other. The river murmured, the wind sang, and in the heart of the world, something awakened, forever. I sat in silence for a moment, my gaze tracing the lines of light dancing on the river's surface. Then, with a quiet breath, I spoke again, my voice low, solemn, and filled with something deeper than words. Remembrance. Kiniku. You asked me some time ago what the Guild of the White Lotus truly is, and I never answered fully, because it's not something I often speak of, not out of shame nor secrecy, but because it requires sacred silence before sacred truth. I turned to her. You know the oath we repeat. You felt its power in the Shaolin Temple, but few people know that the true heart of the Guild was not born in the East. It came from the heart of Europe, from two young souls whose names history tried to bury in silence. She leaned closer, listening, her body open like a flower to the wind. Hans and Sophie Scholl, a brother and a sister, barely more than students. They stood up during the darkest hours of the 20th century, against the Nazi regime, against death, lies, and hatred. Not with bombs, not with bullets, but with words, with leaflets printed by hand, with silent flowers placed in the corridors of German universities. They called themselves the White Rose. My voice trembled with admiration. They knew the risks. They knew that death was near, but they chose truth. They chose to speak. They chose to resist, not for themselves, not for revenge, but for the soul of humanity. Kiniku's eyes filled with tears. She murmured,
And they were killed, weren't they?
I nodded slowly. Yes, executed. But their words flew. Their silence became louder than screams. Their courage became a fire, and that fire crossed decades. It crossed oceans. It reached us. I placed my hand gently on her forearm, as if transmitting a secret warmth. The White Lotus Guild is their legacy reborn, not in their name, but in their spirit, in their refusal to bow, in their vow to protect truth, beauty, and innocence, like the lotus flower that grows through the mud yet remains unstained. Kiniku's voice was almost a whisper now.
And how does this connect to Tantra?
I smiled gently. More than you might think, the White Lotus is not only a symbol of resistance, it is the flower of awakening. Tantra, when practiced with reverence and courage, is not a selfish indulgence. It is resistance too, resistance against fear, against shame, against all the lies told about the body, about pleasure, about the sacredness of being alive. I paused, letting the river carry the weight of his words. Tantra teaches us to love without taking, to see without judging, to offer without expecting. And the Guild teaches us to act, to rise, to defend all that is pure and beautiful. Both are paths of awakening. Both are rebellions against ignorance. And both require the same vow: I will not betray the soul. A silence fell between us. Then Kiniku spoke, her voice now firm and bright like a dawn blade.
Then let us walk both paths, Iji. The sacred path of Tantra, where the breath becomes a fire of life, and the sacred path of the lotus, where resistance becomes a song of truth. Let our hearts carry both the flower and the flame.
She reached for my hand again, and we stood. The sun had now risen fully above the cliffs. The Ardèche flowed like liquid crystal around our feet. The world was still. Then Kiniku whispered,
We may not be a couple, but we are bound by something greater, something eternal.
I nodded, my voice soft but strong. Yes, we are companions of the sacred, lovers of truth, warriors of joy. We turned together, walking up the path from the river. Not as teacher and student, not as lovers or friends, but as all of these and more. As allies of the invisible, as guardians of light. And behind us, in the hush of the forest, the wind whispered the ancient vow, May beauty be our weapon, truth our compass, and love our invincible shield. The Guild of the White Lotus was not a legend. It was alive, and it walked in us.
Spend the time to do good around you, to be happy when the hearts are delighted. There is nothing on earth, on the complete planet, nor in this universe, that makes him so happy. When too sad, some are hiding their eyes. Come like a sun to rebirth their faith. It's within yourself. It's within myself. On the highest firmament that gives back wings. Offer your life to the infinity, to the love and to God. It's to be always happy. There's nothing on earth, on the complete planet, nor in this universe, that makes him so happy. Offer your life with a light heart to the infinity, to the spirit that is free. It's beyond ourselves, probably beyond everything. A divine mystery within the confines of a lie.